Thank you so much for talking to us. I mean, you were just on a panel, and it was very kind of you to come and make time to like talk to us right after.
Asking.
Yeah, of course. So the panel that you were just on was amazing. It was about like social responsibility and brand partnerships and working with nonprofits and everything. And so tell us a little bit about your experience overall of working with nonprofits.
So I've actually done a couple of different things. I haven't been, supporting one particular charity or non-for-profit for any distinguished amount of time, but I've actually just recently began work with the Thirst Project, which is run by my friend Seth Maxwell, and a group of his friends started that when they were in college, and they're just a group of super young people who are really, really dedicated and committed to bringing clean water to people that need it, it's a massive thing. I mean, if you listen to him talk about it, he'll give you all the crazy stats about like how many people don't have water, how it actually kills more people than any other epidemics worldwide. Like, clean water is just horrible. There's so many preventable diseases that get transmitted through water. It's nuts. But so it's been a really eye-opening experience for me just personally to learn about some of these issues, because I really had no idea how serious it was. And then from the actual perspective of working with a not-for-profit, it's been really cool to be able to kind of be in line with someone who's kind of similar to my interests, but also in my age range. I feel like we're really in line, and so it makes it a really seamless process. It's super easy to work with Seth. It's super easy to work with all of those guys. And honestly, I've never really had a bad experience. For the most part, everyone is just kind of really dedicated to bringing like positive attention to the issue, and so it usually ends up being a really nice partnership.
Right. And there was a really interesting discussion that sort of started when you guys were talking about the importance of YouTube comment section and how that's such an added benefit versus like working with a traditional media company because of the feedback. So can you talk a little bit more about like your relationship with the comment section on YouTube?
Sure. So one of the things we kind of touched on in the panel was basically traditional media has what you would see as the highest amount of money, the highest amount of access. It's got a very, very broad reach, and millions of dollars are being thrown at advertising. You've got billboards, you've got television, you've got just advertising everywhere. So it's really, that's a more traditional route to take if you're going to advertise something like this. But when you go somewhere that might be a little bit smaller in terms of the numbers, you actually have kind of a better response. It's a higher percentage of people coming back to actually promote and give, and it's definitely more engaged. I think that the people on YouTube especially, I know that a lot of people on Tumblr and a lot of people have like travel blogs and charity blogs and things of that nature, but the YouTube audience and the people in the comment section are already so excited that they can be engaged with these people that they look up to. Like, a lot of my friends that are YouTubers, these big people, I hear, these viewers, these young people talking about how exciting it is, and they look up to them. And so it's really cool when they can really kind of get on board with these guys, and they feel like they're even more a part of it. They feel like there's something really personal that they share that they can talk about. And so, the YouTube comment section is an instantaneous connection. It can all sort of just instantly spread out. It's just like a droplet of water in a pond. The ripples just continue on. So it's just this massive outreach in a super immediate response. And so I think, and I know, actually, kind of jumping around a lot, but Hannah Hart was actually on our panel as well, and she was talking about how she has actually learned some things about some of the organizations she's done work with by reading the comment section. So when you kind of put yourself out there, you might see other people who are either interested in the same issues or have worked with the same corporations, not corporations, companies, not-for-profits, or worked on the same kind of projects that you have, and they can sort of really open up this amazing dialogue and do a lot with their information. The education is just never ending. It's really cool.
Right. And then what about for you personally, when you're just making your normal content? Like, what's your relationship with the comment section for that?
My normal content, it varies because I do a bunch of different kind of styles of videos, but for the most part, it's really a positive experience. I mean, I try to, at least for 20 to 30 minutes every time I post a video, I try to just sit down and really have a conversation with those people, especially the ones who are at the video right away. Those people are super dedicated for whatever reason to my channel, and they're really, really nice, and they're really supportive, and so I just feel, obligation sounds bad, it's not obligation. I feel actually privileged to be able to have a conversation with these people that are really coming to support me and who are interested in what I'm doing and what I have to say, and I feel like I have to pay them that same respect, and I feel like, it's just fun to be able to talk to people all over the world. It's mind-blowing when you look at where these people are coming from. And one of my favorite things in the comments is when people say, whatever they might say, something really nice or whatever. It doesn't even matter what they say, and then at the very end it says love from Israel, or love from Switzerland, or love from South Africa, wherever they might be. That was super loud. It scared me. And it's so amazing to be able to just kind of take a step back and be like, holy crap, like this is a massive platform.
Yes.
It's such a huge reach. It's such a great opportunity to have a conversation with other young people around the world, and it's just amazing to be able to connect with people on that level.
Right. And you're connecting with someone you've never even met face to face,
Most
but
of the time I
impacting
haven't.
their daily life.
Yeah, and they're impacting mine as well. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without them. If I didn't have the audience, I wouldn't be able to do these projects, and if I didn't have these projects, I wouldn't have the audience. So it's kind of this cycle. It's this very mutually beneficial relationship, and so it's nice to be able to have that. I feel really lucky.
And now you seem to be so comfortable sharing your life online. And how, like, did that take a while to get there, or what was that process like at the beginning?
Yeah, it was interesting in the beginning. I was actually brought into YouTube by my ex-husband, and he had a very large presence online, and I kind of didn't really know much about it at the time, and we started doing daily videos together, and that really was so interesting to me, because at first my thought was kind of like, who's going to want to know about this?
Right.
Like, my life isn't that exciting, but it kind of, as we started to do stuff that we enjoyed more, and as we kind of started to branch out and do more things outside of our comfort zone, more people started coming and becoming interested in what we were doing, and then we started to realize, hey, like, some of what we're doing is actually inspiring other people to go out and do the same sorts of things. And so the more I shared, the more other people shared, and so it just kind of, it didn't feel so much like I was being exposed. It just felt more like a really, really prolonged conversation with a friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then what about like sort of finding your own confidence online? Like, did that take a while too?
Definitely. And I mean, you still are going to get horrible, hateful comments every single time you post a video. That's just part of the territory, unfortunately. But yeah, it definitely took me some time. And in the beginning, there was kind of a stage that I went through where I felt like my confidence was really dipping, and I kind of felt really bad about what I was doing, or not bad about what I was doing, but I felt like, oh, there's just something more, there's something that I'm missing, I'm kind of not reaching like what I feel like is maybe my potential. And then, you know, I kind of just started to change my attitude about it and sort of do more of what I like to do, and sort of just change my focus and change gears, and my confidence has definitely come back from that. I think it's really important to, even though you have audience influence and people kind of saying, we want to see you do these types of videos, it's really important to stay true to yourself and still do what makes you happy, because other people will, it's infectious. People will feel that, and people will understand how, definitely. They can tell if it's inauthentic, and you just, that's just not a good relationship to start to build on. It's like, you know, dishonesty or being kind of inauthentic. So yeah.
But as a content creator, are there videos sometimes that you're just not happy with that never see the light of day?
Definitely.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
What's the percentage kind of for you? Has it lessened though now that you've done it more and more?
It has, but there are definitely times that I make something and I'm like, this just won't do. I mean, and it sucks because you put a lot of work into it.
When you're editing it, and you're like, not happening, or when you're done?
Yeah, not when the product is finished. I usually can tell in the middle of editing. Sometimes I actually can tell before I start editing, when I'm just kind of gazing at the clips, kind of just going through what I have, all the raw footage. I'm like, this is just not going to happen. So I've definitely trashed a couple projects, but fortunately they were fun projects. A couple of them were drunk gaming, so I was really excited to film them again. But yeah, it's hard to know in the moment when you're really drunk that you're not doing a great job. So yeah, that was.
And then, are you always sort of coming up with ideas for content? Like, these cars.
I know.
What's that process sort of like? Are you just always thinking about that?
It comes and goes, to be honest. There are times when I will be falling asleep and I'll have an idea and I will just grab something and write it down. And there are times when I have just a group of friends who get together and say, hey, we're going to be all in town for 2 weeks. We should shoot something. And actually, one of the major sources of inspiration for me, maybe not for entire concepts, but at least for tiny jokes or like little excerpts from videos, has just been from observing people, from listening to conversations people are having. I've been in so many situations where I've just happened to overhear some ridiculous dialogue and I pull things from that to use in my own videos because it's just too funny. And those things oftentimes are the best because they're the most real. You know, they're things that actually have happened. I didn't just make it up. It's a real conversation, and a lot of times people are like, I can totally relate to that. So that ends up being.
And then while we're here at VidCon, I mean, there's so many people here who are content creators or who are starting out and wanting to go into this world. Like, when you talk to those young content creators, what advice do you sort of give to them about being on YouTube?
Be honest with your viewers and be honest with yourself about what you want. Don't sell yourself short, because a lot of people say like, oh, I'm just really scared that it won't happen and blah blah blah, and like, you can't know until you try. You have to just give it a shot. And I mean, sometimes you might not get 1 million subscribers right away, but that's okay. You got to put in the time. You know, it takes a lot of work. That's another thing that I tell people. It does not usually just happen for people. It takes time. But if the content is there, if you are excited about what you're doing, that will be apparent in your videos and people will be drawn to it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cool.